Hello folks, welcome to the Shade Tree channel. Today we're going to do a product review, but before we start I'd like to thank everybody out there for tuning in and for subscribing to the channel, and I hope you'll find some useful information here. I've been running SealSavers on my bikes for several years, and some people like them, some people don't, but I'm just going to give you my first-hand experience with them. On my bike I ran them for probably 6 or 7 years, and not long before I got rid of that particular bike, I redid the seals, not because they were leaking, but just because I thought it was time for routine maintenance. I needed to change the oil and replace the fork seals, and I did, and the oil came out. I mean, it wasn't like clear as new oil, but it came out awfully clear for a bike that had that many miles on it. So 5 or 6 years, I guess it was, and never a leak, and the oil being clean when it came out. That tells me that it was keeping dirt away from the seals. You know, you got the dust cap on the outside, and then you got the seal, and you know, if you just got this extra protection, this neoprene sleeve to help keep that extra dirt and stuff away, it just makes sense to me that it would have to do some good. They some people say that they add extra stiction to the suspension, but I mean, I don't know. I guess you could, if you did, maybe you could adjust it out with your clickers. I don't know, but I didn't notice any difference. I got another bike now, and as soon as I got the bike, I had some suspension work done on it. I had a little bit of bike was kind of tall for me, so I had an inch taken out of the front forks and an inch taken out of the rear travel as well to lower the bike some. And I put SealSavers on there, and I put I guess 80-90 hours on the bike, and no seepage, no problems, no fork seal issues. So you know, I think they're doing their job. They're doing their job for me. They cost about $20-25 bucks, and I'm opening the package here. I'll show you what's in the package. They come in different sizes for different size forks and different lengths. I've seen some that are longer than these, but this is what I bought. I'm getting ready to install these on this Yamaha YZ250FX over here. They come with two large zip ties to help secure them in place. I've never used them; it's never needed them, and I can pull them down to clean after a muddy ride. Take a water hose and wash on the inside to get the mud out. So I don't know what the zip ties are for. I guess you could use them for something. But two neoprene SealSavers. I will tell you this, on Rocky Mountain, they're Tusk products that, and I'm a big fan. I've used a lot of the Tusk products. I did buy the Tusk SealSaver neoprene sleeves. They weren't called SealSavers, but the Tusk version of the SealSaver, and I'm going to say it was just about useless. Within just a couple of months, the neoprene was starting to deteriorate and come apart. They didn't last me 6 months, and I was taking them off and putting another set of SealSavers on there. I think it was 6 or 7 years that I had the other bike. I went through 2 sets of SealSavers and 1 set of Tusk, and the Tusk lasted me 6 months. So you know, I'm a believer. They made me believers by just the function and the performance. You know, if they keep your seals from leaking, that's what I want. So keep the dirt out, keep your oil cleaner longer. No one likes to spend money to have their forks reworked, and no one likes to have to do it yourself. I mean, it's not that tough of a job, but it's still a pain. And so if you can use a simple product like this, all you've got to do, I've got this bike here, all you've got to do is loosen the triple clamp bolts and take your brake caliper off the bottom, slide your forks out, flip these over, get them in position, put it all back together. Maybe a 20 or 30 minute job. So I'm going to put these on, and we'll bring you back. I'll let you see them up close on the bike, and I'll also let you take a look at the SealSavers I have on my bike that's been on there about 80 hours, and they're still in really good shape. So stay tuned. Hey, one thing I forgot to add when I was going over what was in the package is you get 2 sets of stickers. You get 2 big ones and 2 small ones. Properly placed on your bike is going to add at least 5 horsepower. That is guaranteed from the company. So don't forget, you get 4 stickers, 2 big ones and 2 smaller ones. But you have to find the right position. You put them in the wrong place, they're really not going to help you much. So we're going to get started taking these forks off and get these SealSavers put on here. First thing I got to do is remove the front tire. If you make faces while you're turning bolts, it gives you a little more strength. There we go. Forks are free. Now we'll loosen the pinch bolts here on the triple clamps. All right, so got both forks out. Going to clean the tubes up real good. We just replaced the fork seals and the fork oil. He took it for one ride, and so it got a little dirty in between. But we're going to get those SealSavers on there, and maybe we'll get some good service out of them this time. There you go, one SealSaver installed, one to go, and we'll get this thing buttoned back up and let you have a look at the finished product. It's always important to torque your pinch bolts back to the proper torque setting. I think the manual calls for 15 on these. I didn't look it up, I'm going from memory. I'm pretty sure 15 is the torque, so somewhere in that neighborhood for sure. So anytime you're torquing pinch bolts, it's important to tighten one and then go to the second and then go back to the first, because as you tighten one side, it's going to take tension off the other. So it's important to work back and forth when you're torquing these pinch bolts when there's two like this. I don't know if you can hear this. I turned it a good bit more when I went back to it the second time. That's a tip to remember. And we'll see what the torque is on our top bolts here again. We'll tighten one. Click. Go to the other. Let's see how much it'll turn here before it clicks on the first bolt that I've already torqued once. We got a good 1/8 of a turn there probably. So just remember when you're torquing bolts that you work back and forth until you get even clicks on both. So we've got everything buttoned back up and looking pretty good. I think everything's tight and torqued, and I got the brake caliper hooked up. The only thing I haven't completed is I have not completed the tightening the front axle bolts. And so anytime you have your front tire off, don't forget that you need to center up your axle and get the tension off of your lower fork legs. And there's lots of in videos out there that show you how to do that. So if you don't know how to do that, I went for a long time and just didn't understand. But so anyway, maybe I'll do a video sometime showing you how to get that done. So thanks for tuning in. Here's SealSavers on my bike, the 90, maybe even 100 hours on the bike since I put this particular set of SealSavers on there. I haven't had any seepage from the forks, and they're still in pretty good shape. You can look closely there. There's a few places where it's rubbed against the fork guard, but if you move them around in the different locations, it keeps from wearing a hole through. You might notice I've got the SealSaver sticker located right there. My son hasn't realized yet where I'm getting the extra 5 horsepower, and when he sees this video, I'm afraid I'm in trouble.